Hello, everybody. I hope all is well with you. I am Demetra K of the Demetra K Show. The purpose of the show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you to my most beautiful moderators for everything that you do in holding down the comment section and making sure that everybody behaves. Now, I will say, if they ain't doing nothing too crazy, don't block them, right? Because like I said, I get people reaching out to me, am I blocked? And sometimes they are. And I'm like, why are they blocked, right? So let's only block, and you know who to block, right? Anyway, today we're going to be talking about, and Sunlight, I'm going to call you back. I got your message. I'm going to call you back. Today we're going to be talking about a white TV host by the name of Megyn Kelly. You guys know who she is. I put her on the thumbnail. I'm going to show you a video. Anyway, she's blaming Obama for the race issues in the country. Right? It's rather dramatic. When you watch it, you're going to be like, really, lady? But it's not surprising, right? So anyway, let's see who's here before we get started. As you know, we got to give everybody just a couple of more moments to come in. And see, we have African Native. How you doing, Naima? What's going on with you? Kawabina, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says, as expected from Megyn. Wow, you gave her a whole lot of K's in her name. Megyn Kelly. Panther Strike, how you doing? You says, I blame Christopher Columbus. Damn. He says you blame Christopher Columbus for the race issues in America. And how you doing, by the way? Say, hey, Queen and the FBA family. Ernest, what's going on with you? Sister Sunlight T. Austin. Brother Samuel Clark. Hope you're doing well. And LaShonda, what's going on with you? Angela, how are you? Give last. You gonna give last? Arneva, I see Arneva. I gave you a wrench too, by the way. Anyway, Biz, what's going on? Mr. South Carolina, hope you're doing well. Kevin Clark, Laura, what is up? Larry L in the building says, I just want to know where is Kirk, immediate family, and why no one is asking him about him and his young life and growing up? You know what? That is such an interesting question. I thought about that earlier. I kind of had a conversation with my daughter about it, like, well, where did he learn it from? And then to your point, I was like, well, like, who is his family, right? So good question. Inuma, how you doing? Albie Chill, what's going on with you? Let's see. Diane, hope you're doing well. Shan, Magneto, what's going on with you? Texas Barabbas says Obama did nothing for Black Americans. He did more for Latino, DACA, illegal aliens, and LGBT than Black Americans. It is true. My aunt, how you doing? Mike Nice in the building. EW, Mr. Norris. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Charles, how you doing? Says they throwing everything at the wall trying to make something stick except for what's really happening. Lady Brownbird, what's up with you? He says Robinson is a patsy. Oh, you talking about got you said he was directly in front of Kirk. Yep. So there's a whole lot of conspiracy theories out there. Marjorie, what's going on with you? And no, I didn't see that you were blocked, Arneba, but I gave you a wrench anyway, but I didn't see you in the block list. So I don't know what happened with that, but I see you now for sure. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, as we could be here forever saying hello to everybody. So anyway, of course, you guys know all about what happened with Charlie Kirk, and I don't even really want to talk about him much, and I'll get into that just a little bit later, but some things that we will talk about is kind of connected to him, and this is one of those things. So I guess Miss Megyn Kelly was doing a tribute to him sometime last week, I guess, and somehow Obama got brought up, right? Now, of course, y'all know Charlie Kirk, unfortunately, was assassinated. So that's the term that they're using last Wednesday at university in Utah as he was delivering a speech. And you guys know everything from there. Whole host of things has transpired. But again, you know, Megyn Kelly being, I guess, would you say on the far right, she's definitely like super conservative. But yeah, she said something that was just like, okay, listen, I want to say this too, because anytime I talk about Obama, I get a lot of people, Obama didn't do that. Obama. Listen, I'm not apologizing for Obama. I'm not any of that. I'm just, Obama sometimes has to be talked about, right? But just because we talk about him, don't mean that we're giving him a pass or anything like that. But I just kind of want to dissect this because it's like, okay, lady, you're taking things too far. So anyway, Samantha, how you doing? Brother Don, Fresh Air, what is up? All right, y'all ready? Here we go.
We don't feel like ourselves. We haven't felt like ourselves in a while. And I'm sorry to get political, but I'm just going to be honest. We haven't felt like ourselves since Barack Obama. I just think he was such a slick snake. You know, he was this affable guy who was like wearing good suits and looked the part and sounded the part and dressed the part, but was so divisive in his messaging. The left, they look at you like when you say this, they don't know what you're talking about. It's like, because you don't pay attention to the other half of the country. You only pay attention to your absurd news sources, which spin and spin and spin to protect Democrats, especially if they're named Obama. He's the one who started to inject race where no one had been doing it. He's the one who started to use his pen and the phone to shove things down our throat that we didn't want. He's the one who shoved through an entitlement on our health care and our personal doctor visits that he promised he wouldn't mess with, and then he did, really hurting people, causing massive anger and open lies. He never missed an opportunity to twist the knife on the racial issue. He would do it subtly and in his own way, but it was very clear what he was doing. For the first time, we had a president who weighed in on legal cases before they'd played out. We never did that. That was a taboo that had never been crossed before him. And Donald Trump was the reason Barack Obama, reverse that. Barack Obama was the reason Donald Trump came about, that he was born as a political figure. They say Trump's divisive. He was the antidote. He was the answer to the divisiveness of Barack Obama. And we just haven't felt like ourselves for years now.
She says she hasn't. They haven't. I don't know if it's the people on the interchangeable, the right. And she's talking about the white. I don't know who she's talking about, right? But she says we just haven't felt like ourselves since Obama, right? Obama is the one that interjected race into the issue. It's his fault. And she called him a slick snake. Now, okay, and this is kind of where I want to split some hairs a little bit. Slick snake to who? Now, yes, he was a slick snake to us as Black Americans. Oh, yes, he was. Not just once, but twice. But to y'all, Obama made it no secret that he acquiesced, white folks and everybody else, because I didn't want to make them mad, if I did something specifically for Black people, right? Those were his words. So it's like, what is she talking about? He's a slick snake. Yes, to us, to y'all, no, right? Now, she said he's very divisive, and then she talked about the left. That's their talking points now, the left, and they're conservative. So that's what conservatives and the left do, right? They kind of finger point and things like that. But she basically said that he brought race into the issue, was never a thing before. And it's like, lady, where you be, right? Race has never been an issue until Obama got into office, okay? And then y'all notice how she was reading. And then she kind of messed up toward the end, where she kind of flipped it around. She goes, oh, I need to reverse that. What she was basically saying, it's, Trump came and made it better. That's kind of what she was saying, for lack of better words. So it's like, okay, lady. And I'm going to say this too, before I forget. To me, that's very scary. That is very scary. Because especially the way she was delivering it, it was him. It was because of him. Anytime you see them talk and move like that, especially if you a brother, man, you in trouble, okay? Because, and like I said, it was just very eerie, like, it was him. Oh, he hurt me. That's kind of how she was delivering it. Right now, mind you, she was talking about Charlie Kirk, and she ended up blaming Obama. All right. So I dug in the crates, and I'm like, and I kind of knew the answer to this already, because she said it was Obama. It's his fault that race is now a thing. Never been done before. Well, we weren't there, but we know that Thomas Jefferson, says that he made race an issue. He, in fact, wrote, all men are created equal while enslaving hundreds of Black people. And we know Thomas Jefferson had a lot of slaves, right? He also promoted the idea of Black inferiority in his writings. For example, Notes on the State of Virginia, okay? Now, he helped shape early American racial hierarchy and normalize the contradiction between liberty and slavery in politics, okay? So that was like 1800s. This was Thomas Jefferson. But again, she said Obama is the one that brought race into anything, I guess, politics, I guess. Then, of course, we know Abraham Lincoln. He made race central through the Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation, and advocating eventually for limited Black suffrage, right? So, of course, they tell us, oh, Abraham Lincoln, he freed the slaves because he just loved Black people. Well, we know he did it to keep the Union together, right? If it meant keeping Black people enslaved, then that was going to be the thing, right? But because it was more beneficial to free us, because there's a lot of them, leaving out of here, he's like, okay, yeah, slavery is over, okay? And then eventually he was over. Now, it says the impact elevated the moral and political urgency of slavery, and race permanently altered the national political landscape, right? Because, once we were freed, all hell broke loose, politically especially. Now, Andrew Johnson opposed Reconstruction policies and protections for newly freed slaves, right? He's the one that says, y'all ain't getting no reparations. Now, the impact fueled racial backlash in Southern politics and enabled segregationist policies to emerge, right? Because he's the one that was like, I know what those special field orders said, but I'm saying, you're not getting it, okay? Woodrow Wilson, the early 1900s, resegregated federal offices, legitimized racist ideologies, and embraced lost cause mythology. Impact reinforced systemic racism at the federal level and gave political legitimacy to white supremacist narratives. So he's the president that showed birth of a nation at the White House. Y'all, not the one that Nate Parker did. I'm talking about the one somebody, D.W. Griffin, where basically saying that black men are running around trying to get after white women, right? And he showed it in the White House. They thought it was, the movie of the damn decade or whatever. Anyway, Richard Nixon, okay? Now, he used the Southern strategy, okay, to appeal to white voters by exploiting fears of black progressive and civil rights. The impact cemented race as a partisan wedge issue in modern American politics. So the Southern strategy is basically where, because, they say that the Republicans were the party of black people. Well, what happened was the so-called good Republicans, and I say that with some strong quotations, they left and went to the Democrat Party. No. It's the Democrats went to the Republican Party, the bad. So the Democrats that were supposed to be good, and I know I'm messing it up, but one of them went to one party and made the other party corrupt, right? Southern strategy. And I'll clean that up in just a little bit more. Ronald Reagan, he used racially coded language like welfare queen, okay, and they still use that today, and supported policies that disproportionately harm black communities. The impact polarized the usage of dog whistle politics to subtly discuss race while mobilizing white voters, right? And then, of course, you have Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump frequently used and probably uses racially inflammatory rhetoric, including attacks on black politicians, immigrants, and activists. Impact reunited overt racial discourse in national politics and deepening racial polarization. Okay, so I can go on and on and on about that. So basically, so I can not confuse anybody, the Southern strategy was a Republican Party electoral effort to increase political support among white voters in the South by appealing to white racial resentment against, as it says, African Americans, right? We know it to be Black Americans, exploiting racial tension during the Civil Rights Movement. The strategy led to a political realignment of the region, shifting the historical Democrat solid South toward the Republican Party. Okay. Now, if we want to talk about Obama and this whole race thing, right? He made race an issue before he was actually elected the first time. I remember he was elected in 2008. Well, in March of 2008, he had to do the speech called A More Perfect Union. Now, y'all know that came about when it was discovered that he sat in the church of Reverend Jeremiah Wright in Chicago, right? And he is the one that infamously said during a speech, it was like even years before this came out, he said, "God damn America," right? But there was more context to it. But of course, the opposition, right? Or the right, they ran away with it. Oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's Jeremiah Wright. He said, "God damn America." But again, it was more to it. So Obama had to come out with this long speech denouncing Reverend Jeremiah Wright and talking about now, and some people saw it as, oh, it's so brave, right? But a lot of black people was like, yo, you just throwing black people under the bus, that's kind of when we really should have picked up on it. Like, okay, Obama is going to throw black people under the bus because he did that before he got into office the first time. Of course, the right, they were like, well, that's not good enough. He shouldn't be president. And some even argued that it almost jeopardized him becoming the president in 2008. Of course, we know it didn't work. So anyway, I'm going to jump into the comment section, as I know I said a lot, but really what stuck out to me the most about Megyn Kelly blaming Obama, first of all, it's a lie. Obama did not make race an issue. He did not, right? Of course, we know that with Trump, he came out with the birther issue, right? Basically saying that Obama wasn't born here, he was born in Kenya. He forged his birth certificate and he didn't go to college here and just a whole bunch of stuff. And Obama eventually had to show, I guess, his long form birth certificate proving that, hey, I was born here. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But he showed his birth certificate and all of that. But yeah, Obama's starting race, and he did this to us, and we haven't been ourselves. It's like, what do you mean you haven't been yourself? Like what does that really mean? Because I don't see how, if she's talking about the right or white people. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes she's talking about white people, but what has been different about y'all? When Obama was in office, y'all really couldn't just let the N word rip the way you wanted to, and the way you're doing now. Like, what? How aren't you the same? But as I said, more importantly, it's scary. It's scary because one, she's a white woman and she's sitting up there. Oh, gosh, she did this to us, man. I mean, I'm not even a black man, as y'all can see, but I'm really afraid for my brothers. I actually saw a story early, and I maybe talk about it another day, where my brother, he was on TikTok and he's crying because he went into a Journey store, and then a white woman manager accused him of trying to sexually harass one of the workers. And the black worker said, no, he was not doing that to me. And the white lady had him banned from all the Journey stores and stuff. And he was like, I can't believe this, and I was like, that poor brother, because he got a rude awakening to how a lot of those women get down. Anyway, let me shut up and get into the comment section. Thank you for bearing with me. Let's see, where did I leave off? Wow, you guys got a lot of comments. That's good, though. That's good. Okay, I'll start here. Marjorie says, okay, talking to Mike, but hello, Samantha. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. John, how you doing? Says, I don't care for Obama, but I really don't think he caused this whole racial crap. It's just typical white folks wanting an excuse to stir up the pot. Yeah, and it's like, how did you even get there from talking about Charlie Kirk? Like, I don't know. Samantha, you crazy. Talk about Megyn STFU and then some, right? Michelle, how you doing? Panda Strike says, white supremacists have this knack for evading accountability. Yeah, because it's like, all of a sudden, Obama, he's the reason for race and politics. Is it because he was the first black man to be a president? Is that where the race came in? Because, they lost their minds. They have lost their minds. And as she said, oh, it's the reason why Trump came about in the first place, because Obama brought race into politics. So she's basically saying if Obama wasn't a thing, then maybe Trump wouldn't be a thing. It's like if you don't knock it off. Charles, how you doing? He says, they got to Obama way before his second term. There were so many security breaches letting him know they could easily CK him. He says, so he had to change up his original intentions to help this race. You know what? I will buy that. I would totally buy that. Diane, so you said hello to Arniva, but hello. So, and Renz, how you doing? Damn, Marjorie. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Panther says no racial healthcare. It says non-racial healthcare is the problem. Yeah, I don't even know where she was going with that. She basically saying because he made Obamacare a thing. And Lady Brownbird says Kelly providing cover, creating distractions. Yeah. Like I said, the way she was delivering it, though, that was scary to me. Because it gives you an insight as to how they get down. Oh, he did that to us. Talia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Molly Cakes, what's going on with you? Says Megyn is a sick woman. Magneto says she can't possibly be serious. No, she was dead serious, right? And she was reading because she lost her place, as I often do, right? But she's like, oh, reverse that. Because she was trying to say, basically, I'm paraphrasing, Obama was bad, but Trump was good, but she said it in reverse. And she actually said, let me reverse that. So I was like, okay. Naima says, how did Obama divide them? Yeah, they going to blame Obama. If I was Obama and Shelly Shell, I'd be like, we leaving up out of here. I mean, if I was them, because it seemed like every month they keep trying to find the reason to put them on the meat hook, right? Like Obama wasn't there when Charlie, whatever happened to him. He wasn't there. He had nothing to do with it. I don't think he did. So how is he even in a discussion of dividing? It's almost like she was saying, oh, well, Charlie was doing what he's doing because Obama divided the country, or with politics or race. And I don't know. Maybe whoever wrote her talking points was drunk or something. Panther says, no one I know could afford Obamacare. I knew people on both sides of it, right? Some people who could, it was like, thank God I wasn't able to get the health care without it. Some people's like, yeah, it's a little too steep. Then, of course, he had that mandate. If you didn't have it, you had to get it or something, you get penalized. So, I mean, there was a levels to it, honestly. Reginald, how you doing? Says she's a liar. You think? A Black American expert, how you doing? Says, but Obama was a Nobel Peace Prize winner and not a felon times 34. Yeah, he was that. You know, and Obama was a lot of things. Like I said, a slick snake. To us, he was, but to her, how was he a slick snake to you? She couldn't even get the lie out. It was crazy. H. Kizzle, how you doing? Says you can never be good enough. It's either you do or you don't. Yep, which is why we ain't trying to appease them people, right? We're not trying to appease them at all. That's why I said I really ain't want to talk about Charlie Kirk, because there's a lot of people talking about Charlie. Like I said, I'm going to talk about some things connected to him, but I'm not going to keep on talking about him because he's got a whole lot of people talking about him. The NFL, most of them, and I don't know how any of y'all watch football anymore. That's another conversation, right? NFL, they made everybody basically do a moment of silence to him and this, that, and the other. But y'all remember what they did to Colin Kaepernick, and now Black people back watching football like, you know, it's no big deal. So it's just levels to it. But I don't really care to spend a lot of time talking about Charlie because, like I said, a lot of people do it. J.D. Vance, the vice president, like he ain't got nothing else to do. He did Charlie Kirk's radio show today in his, you know, chair, and the show must go on type of thing. And like, man, you ain't got nothing else to do. Okay. Shannon says she's lying. Show what the freak you talking about. So what the freak you talking about? I think you meant. And Bid says, I blame Lyndon B. Johnson. He literally brought race into the White House. Yes, he did. He wasn't on my list, but yes, you're absolutely right. He was one of them. Yes, Magnetic says she's very good at projecting. Yeah, but it's I don't even know if it's a dog whistle anymore. It's just kind of out in the open. It was him. Oh. That's what I saw when she was delivering it that way. Enuma says, this girl got to be related to Hillbilly Vance. Uh-oh. Jersey Rick, how you doing? Mike, it says, more Bull Monday. Elder Dwayne, how you doing? Says, as you always blame the Black man, poor excuse of people blaming everyone but their own folk. That's what I'm saying. Obama had nothing to do at Utah unless he was somewhere high now, but you blame him for bringing race into politics. But you know, the other sick part is she could say stuff like that because she really don't think people are paying attention, right? Like her base, they're like anything she says, yeah, you're right. Obama's is his fault. We weren't thinking about race. Like, really? You weren't? You know, I mean, even something as recent as Katrina, Bush, right? Kanye had to stand up there on that telethon and say, Bush does not care about Black people, or whatever it was to say. He let the world know Bush don't care about Black people, right? Because it was majority of Black people that was suffering there in New Orleans, Katrina, right? Majority of Black people. And he flew over like, took them like 5 or 6 days to even acknowledge that they were in despair, right? So that was definitely racial. All right, so skipping down, Glenn, how you doing? Says, thanks for sharing this topic. I really appreciate it a lot, and I appreciate you. Lady Wrightmore, how you doing? Says, the same Obama who pretended to drink a glass of, come on now, Flint water, the one who married to, now we ain't going to call Michelle Michael now, and we didn't got past that already. I think we pretty sure she's a, how do we know she's a man? Like I said, which one of y'all been up under the lady dress? I ain't finna go there. But yes, he is the one. That's why I said slick snake. To who? He's definitely a slick snake to us, but to Megyn, like, how does she get off? Yeah, and pretending to drink clean water, even though Flint right now still has an issue, you know. But who is she talking about? Albert Chill says, really, it was Hillary Clinton who started interjecting these manipulative linguistics into the lexicon because she made excuses for losing against the orange one. Yeah, and even way before she ran against Trump. Remember, she was running in the primary against Obama, and she was eluding, right? They was a little bit louder than dog whistles, but she was like, oh yeah, when he was the senator, he wouldn't show up on votes like for, let's say, PDF file things and child predator laws. She was like saying those things. He was absent on those votes. So it's like, if you really listen to what she's saying, it's like, well, what are you getting at? To the naked ear, it just sounds like Oh, well, he just, whatever reason, to show up that day. But if you really listen to what she was saying, it's like, are you calling him a PDF file? But it was subtle to where it kind of sink in, but you wasn't really cognizant of what she was really driving at. And then she got called out on it. She had to say, oh, no, that's not what I meant. It's like, lady, yes, you did. You just got caught. So, yeah, she was doing that then. All right, let's see. Who else haven't I seen? I'm gonna skip down. I promise you I'm gonna catch back up. Panther Strike says, when I was 6 years old in Birmingham, Alabama, I saw whites only sign in a general store near my late grandfather's home. Race is ingrained in white supremacist culture. Yeah, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. It's never gone anywhere. Now, has it gone dormant sometimes? Yeah, it's gone dormant when it was legally not fashionable to be racist out loud. But now we're in 2025. You could say the N-word because it's freedom of speech. It's just words, right? But there's things they don't want you to say in regards to, you know, other people and things like that. But, you know, it's just a word. Y'all say the N-word all the time, right? So they make justifications for that. Oh, and yesterday I made an announcement. I will be on the African Diaspora News Channel live on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Yesterday I said 11 p.m. and Lord knows I'd been asleep 3 hours before that, right? So 11 a.m. for Tuesdays and Wednesdays going to be half an hour. And I already know that's going to be hard, but I'm going to have to stick to it, right? So a half an hour, y'all please join me. We're going to do the same thing we do here, but over there. So woohoo. Anyway, John, you say, so the Republicans want to assassinate Obama. Is that what Megyn Kelly is insinuating? Megyn Kelly, because you don't care for Black people either. I don't know if that's what they want to do. I haven't heard that. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure what her purpose was in that, but you know, honestly, I think, especially on the right, they want to gin up the mob. You know, they want to, that's what they used to do, right? When the Klan was about to ride and go do something to one of us, they gin up the mob so they could be all liquored and juiced up to go do it. So that's what she's doing, right? It's the left. It's Obama. It's their fault, right? They keep on feeding the red meat to the people who really just want to chomp into something, right? Because when old, you know, Charlie was taken out of here, they didn't know at the time, right, for who it was. And so something tells me, even from what the governor was saying, we was hoping and praying that it was somebody that wasn't from here. Maybe they was from a different state or a different country. Now, we know what he was saying without saying it. But because they were kind of robbed of, oh, well, damn, it wasn't, let's say somebody Black or an immigrant, it was one of us. I really got to try to find some to satiate them, right? To get rid of that thirst that they have. So people like her, they just keep on throwing out these things because we got to blame somebody for, we can't blame us, but we got to blame somebody else, right? The hotta. How you doing? Yep, Andrew Jackson. Let's see. Who else is here? JJ Mars in the building. King Noble, what's going on with you? Monet, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You know, Monet, I saw you when I was looking in the block list, and I don't know why you were blocked. No, were you blocked? No, I don't think you were blocked. I think I was looking at something else. I thought you were blocked, but you weren't blocked. I don't know. Let me shut up. Black women stand up. How you doing? Peace on to you as well. I'm going to catch up. I swear. Let me just skip down. Jerron, how you doing? Said they just can't stop blaming Black folks. Nah, it's American as apple pie. Inquisitor, how you doing? Okay. I got you, though. Let me reread your comment. Make sure you ain't. Oh, so you're saying that's what she said because you put it in quotation because you know my finger was about to be blocked. So you're saying somebody says Blacks need to speak Ebonics and stay stupid. Is that what she's saying? I mean, I don't know. I've never heard her say that, but okay. Says they hate Obama because he wasn't accepting the okie doke. Well, they just hate Obama because he was Black, right? We don't need to be anything else, right? They hate us simply because we're Black. We didn't do anything at all to them at all, right? They simply hate us because we're Black. And the same thing for Obama. Now, if anybody has an issue with Obama, it should be us, right? Because we're the ones that made sure that he got into office twice. Now, I know a lot of people voted for him, but he wasn't going to do it without us. he got the majority, almost all of the black vote, right? But then he kicked us in the tailbone, pow, twice. So yeah, but they hate him because he's black. Arneva says Obama's presence made race an issue. There you go. Period. That was it. That was it. He says they hate him because he was dislaved inquisitor. I don't know how dislaved Obama was. Now, I think most presidents are a slave to some degree because they got people behind them putting the keys and the batteries in their back. But I don't know. Naima says every Caucasian I know, economics, religion, family, etc., was not affected in a bad way during Obama's presidency. No, he did a lot for everybody else but Black Americans. Like, no lie. Everybody else benefited from his presidency but us. Everybody. So I don't even know what Megyn is talking about. I mean, she's a racist. So she's just mad because he was black in the White House, right? But he didn't need to do anything else to them other than just be black, honestly. Mr. Norris, she says, that kind of talk from them women got Black Wall. Come on now. Black Wall Street burned down Barack and all black people. Watch your backs. They ain't changed in 400 years. Yeah, like I said, I think we're starting to see more and more of that. Oh, he did something to me. I'm just saying, be careful. But see, we've already been told that before. Be careful who you hang around. Watch your back. Don't be that Negro, right? That's, I'm gonna be the one at the party with them. You know, they're cool. They're my friends, right? And then one of their women talking about, he whistled at me. Then you be fighting for your life up in there, right? I know it's 2025, but they acting like it's 1825, 1925, okay? I'm just saying. Arthur, how you doing? Says that's what it was. Okay, and I know I'm so behind in the comments, so y'all forgive me. T. Austin says what she was saying was they couldn't see themselves having a black white man as a president. Yeah, no, even if he was one drop black, right? Which I'd imagine that there was some presidents there that had a little bit of black. My aunt says black people are tired of blaming us for those folks' decisions. Stop with the bull crap. I totally agree. J Music, how you doing? Says Megyn just needs to shut up. Is that the one? No, that's the Laura Ingraham, I think, that told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Brother Don said George Washington brought race into politics. You ain't lying, okay? It's been here, right? Because he was even wearing some black slaves' teeth up in his mouth, right? They hate us, but you want our teeth in your mouth, you bald-headed gum sucker, you know, just make me mad even thinking about it. MC Fact, thank you. How you doing, by the way? Talia, you say, I don't get it. If he's been out of office for close to a decade and they still press, they've had 2 white presidents since then, okay? You know, they always salty. And Sunlight says a coverage is poor. You're talking about Mr. Kirk. Brother Samuel says, I don't believe she believes herself. She plays on white. Yep, subconscious for fear of blacks coming to power and seeking revenge. This motivates them to vote for Trump, who played on their ignorance. You are 100% right. That's all that red meat right here. Here's some red meat, you know, to keep you right. You ever seen a dog, especially like a pit bull, eat red meat or even like want the red meat? It's crazy. I wouldn't want to be in the presence of a pit bull or any dog like that that's used to eating red meat and they don't get it. And they look at you, they like, you red meat, you know. Sweet Daddy Kool-Aid, how you doing? Says, I have it. I only paid $50 a month. So you're talking about Obamacare. Beverly White, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and that's true, Sunlight. Obamacare does change every year. And let's see. The art of today. How you doing? Thank you. Arthur says, when Trump got into the White House, the racists came out of the woodwork like roaches to push that agenda even more. And they still pushing it. Yes, our brother Simon says, what the NFL did to Shedeur Sanders. And isn't he sitting on the bench still? My daughter was telling me they was making a big deal out of something. He guess he's not playing, but he went to talk to somebody, and the sportscaster, she saw this online somewhere, was saying, oh, he's just trying to get TV time and all this other stuff. They like really hate him, right? It's crazy. African Native says, if Obama helped black folks during his presidency, he would get entire support from the black community. He had not done anything that would benefit black Americans. Nope. And it wasn't apologetic about it. Sunlight says, yes, so much for the NFL boycott. Most are not serious about ending the racist disrespect. Yeah, that right there, I'd be like, this is my last game. Okay, this is my last game. Because I didn't pay for that. You know, like they said, I don't pay to see Colin Kaepernick on one knee. I didn't pay for that. No shade to homie, but I didn't pay to come do that. Now they said in some of them games, people was like, I'm finna talk, right? I'm finna boo. So, I mean, you can't tell me to. Dorsey, how you doing? Says, I don't watch NFL football. I stay true to the struggle. You says United States Marine Corps vet. I know that's right. Brother Frank, how you doing? Says Woodrow Wilson and Andrew Jackson was worse. Yep. Jamal, how you doing? Says, didn't someone walk into one of Obama's engagements with a gun? Yeah, that remember they when in whatever places they were at, they had to, you know, it wasn't even old like Saturday night special. It was the ones that they had to drape over their shoulders, right? They walking in there and all kind of stuff. So yeah, you couldn't do that in one of Trump's rallies, you know. And then I heard that they being the White House is asking for like $60 million to beef up securities, like. For who? Because I'm thinking the president is probably the most secure person in the world. So who are you beefing the security up for? And then, of course, they're trying to take the security at the University of Utah to task. Because, like, how did that happen? It's like, man, it was a sucker on the roof when Trump was talking. When he got, you know, hit in his ear. So it's like, y'all, somebody said, too, I read in one of the comment sections, like, oh, y'all really don't know anything about college security details because they're just kind of like, well, we're here, you know, type thing. Veronica, how you doing? Lene, what's up? He says, I'm really disappointed right now. One of my maintenance medications copay went from $0, for a 90-day supply to $18 for a 30-day supply. America's health system really stinks. Yeah, and I think that's unfortunately true for everybody. We're going to start to see a lot go up, and I pay out of pocket as well for my medical. So, yeah, we're all going to feel the pinch, unfortunately. So I can understand. Karima, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Arias Love, and I know I said that wrong, but how you doing? Says, has he talked about what happened to Tyrone yet? Who is Tyrone? If you don't mind me asking. Dorsey says Harry Truman brought up race when he equalized the military. It was Eisenhower who sent the military to Little Rock. It was Ford who opened public swimming pools. Okay. Share Girl, how you doing? Says he did nothing for his people, but he bailed out Wall Street. Yep. He took care of the elite. Look at what he gets from them in return. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. One who cares. How you doing? Let's see, y'all. Let me catch up because I didn't realize how far behind I am. What? Panther, I see you talking about somebody with meth and crack. Coach B, how you doing? Norma, says race issues are just one way. It's pale against black. Yeah, because we didn't start the race issues, right? It's not us, even though they say, oh, blacks could be racist too. It's like, we're not going to keep arguing with y'all over that. You know, we can't be racist. We can be discriminatory and prejudiced, but racist, no. Right? But again, like I said, I don't even care to even be arguing with them like that. Which is why I said I didn't want to be talking about, you know, Mr. Kirk all like that. Because there's people talking about him all day long. And, you know, we got other bigger fish to fry in our own community, right? And unfortunately, so many people losing their jobs. And I saw some white woman on Twitter. She made a spreadsheet of people who's been saying stuff and, you know, reporting them all over the place. It's like, yikes. It's crazy. But that's the party of free speech. Let's see. Buck Horse in the building. Black Rose, how you doing? Says they truly have no reason to dislike Obama because he did nothing for FBA. No, he didn't. That's why I'm saying, what is she talking about? He's a slick snake. To us, yes. To you. And like somebody else said, you know, bailed out Wall Street and a whole host of things. No bankers went to jail. None of that. But he was a slick snake. The cozy sleeper. How you doing? Says Deuteronomy 28 and 30 and Revelations is why they hate us. They know we God's children. Yep. And you know who need to know that? Us. See, when we know that we are God's children, then we walk and we talk a lot differently, right? We don't walk with a head down and defeated and, oh, master, please, why don't you just, can't you, will you, won't you like me? We were like, I don't care what you say about me, right? Because I know who I am. Okay. And you know who I am. So once we start knowing that we are God's chosen people, then nothing else matters, right? That's why I say I don't really be tripping off of a lot of stuff that we see, because I already know it's already been written. We just got to sit back patiently, let God do what he's doing, and do what we were asked to do, right? That's that whole faith without the works is dead, right? So we got to have faith that God is going to do what he's going to do, but we still need to be working towards stuff he told us to do, I think. Brother Stephen, how you doing? Yes, you made it. Tell your wife we said hola. Hello, hello. Texas Barabbas says, I got to repeat, Obama did more for DACA, Latino, and illegal aliens than for Black Americans. Yes, you can repeat that because he did. Michelle says, they stay salty, angry, jealous, and deflected. Yeah, because we really ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Nothing. Uncle G. How you doing? It says, rip Trey Reed. And I'm sorry, who is Trey Reed? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't know who that is. Monique, how you doing? It says, Obama now. Yeah. You know, it's Obama like once every other month or once a month. They try to find a way to just, because remember, like it was last month or something, they were trying to get him, was they trying to get him arrested or something like that? Because he did something somewhere. I forget what it is, because there's so many things. But yeah, I think they were trying to get him arrested for something. So yeah. Negroes, how you doing? It says Black student. Oh, I saw that right before I came on here. I didn't get a chance to get into it. But it says Black student found hanging in a tree at Delta State University in Mississippi. And of course, I saw the headline where it said, oh, it wasn't any foul play. It's like, really? Is that y'all go to? That every time somebody Black is found in a tree, oh, was no foul play? Because I want to know how they got up there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that story. But I did see it right before I came on here. To how they said they haven't watched NFL in years. Yeah, I don't really watch TV at all. Just every once in a while. Bakari, how you doing? So I just received what? Death threats for your video I made this weekend. And what was you talking about? That's crazy. One unique Monique, how you doing? Says college police is nothing but security guards. Yeah, that's that's a lot of people said, you know, because they have a lot of incidents on college campuses, and they're really just, like you said, glorified security guards, I guess, something like that. But nobody to be, you know, looking for snipers and all that other stuff. Lady Brown Burger says, actually, the mayor of Chicago, if the mayor of Chicago has more security than the president, Brandon has 150-person security for him and his wife. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's a lot of security detail. Like, what you scared of, man? You know, same person talking about as Jessica Jackson and Danny C and all them saying, you same person talking about, oh, crime is going down, but you got damn near the whole police department watching you and your family. Sound like you don't believe that doggone lie. Jessica, how you doing? D-Mac, what's going on with you? Says you have to have power and influence to affect one's way of living to be considered a racist. Exactly. But, you know, they keep on. Like I said, at some point, we just got to get tired of arguing with them or, no, we're not racist. Yes, you are. No, we're not. Like, I don't care what you think about me. I don't. I really don't. That's why I am anyway, right? Yeah, Panther Strike. That's, you know, what you say. Okay. Like, I'm not going to just keep on. Like I said, I'll talk about things that come out of it. Because I'm going to talk about something tomorrow on African Diaspora News Channel related to it, but not because it's him per se. Doesn't make any sense, because I'm really, it's like, okay, just kind of fatigued. I got fatigue. One who cares says, no, Obama did absolutely nothing for us at all, right? Bakari says, if they gonna send my video to my job laughing my A off, the snowflakes are melting. What did you say, brother? Synovia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jay McClinton, how you doing? Says Black student found. Yeah, I saw that. I gotta really look into it. I'm gonna look into it once I get off of here. Synovia says, I'm prejudiced and proud of it. Yeah, most people are prejudiced, right? We got prejudices against a whole lot of stuff, including people. And I think we'd be lying to say, I'm not prejudiced against people. I love everybody. It's like, stop lying. Because nobody loves everybody. Tikoa, how you doing? Says, and that's is to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay, are you talking about God? Okay. Yeah, Bakari, that's what the word on the street is. That somebody at in Mississippi was found in a tree. African Native says they also tried to roll Beyonce in the flower. Because he was saying something about her, right? Her music is terrible, this, that, and the other. They just hate Black people just because, right? I don't care what you say about Beyonce. Beyonce is Black excellence, right? I don't care if you like her or not. Think about her work ethic and, just the things that she does. I mean, Beyonce is a bad chick and they can't stand that, right? Especially when she got into country. They acting like that was something they came up with. You did not. Country belonged to us, okay? But when she got in there and dominated country, they had a fit, Also, Bakari is talking about the hypocrisy of them folks. Okay, well, they can report it, I guess, but if you weren't doing anything wrong, and again, what happened to freedom of speech? It used to be, as long as you weren't yelling fire, right, in a crowd or something like that, you can't do that. That's not protected. But now, apparently, expressing yourself about how another person, you can't do that anymore because they're gonna cost you your livelihood. And one Black woman here in Texas, she was at Texas Tech, and I guess they were having a demonstration or I don't know, vigil, or I don't know what it was, for Charlie, and she got to saying something like basically F him, this, that, the other, and she got arrested. And the governor, Greg Abbott, he tweeted, the article and everything, and said FAFO. Basically, we don't play that. She got arrested. Now, something tells me she'll be able to sue, because you can't arrest me for that. That's freedom of speech, right? But I think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits, to be honest with you. Business says a white guy in North Carolina made threat on Black preschoolers. Yep, I saw that. YouTube turned them in. Yeah, I saw that. But ain't nobody mad about that, right? Some little Black kids, on the radar. And nobody mad about that. Narmer says only a fool would let his enemy teach his children. Malcolm the Great. Absolutely. You know what, Bakari? You better stop. Brother Don says they lying. They don't tell you that the man had bruises and 2 broken arms. That's what I'm saying. Like, how he get up there, But especially in Mississippi, yeah. Oh, it don't seem like no foul play. Okay, cool. But what does it seem like? It don't seem like a foul play. Then what happened? Because y'all quick to say it ain't no foul play, but then what happened? Because it seems like what happened then. Did he climb up there himself? What happened? See, when they quick to rule out foul play, that's when I'm like, nah, there's more to the story. Sanchez, how you doing? Says, sounds like Obama has a problem. Yeah, he might want to be, getting up out of here. Reality, how you doing? He says, you look just like the photo. What photo? Talk about on my thumbnails. Oh, well, thank you. I got on, a new lipstick, if you will, and just a little eyeshadow and some blush, but that's it. I don't, have anything on my face, per se, because I sweat a lot. Let's see. Who else? Ricardo, how you doing? Shout out to you as well. Oh man, Jesus. You said speak for yourself, lady. Who you talking? You talking to me or Megan? Bakari says I used a Tariq Nasheed thumbnail of George Floyd and Charlie Kirk dapping it up in heaven. Oh yeah, I've seen that. He said they losing their minds. Yeah, I saw that. And they do not like that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that tomorrow on the African Diaspora News Channel. Something that I saw and I was like, oh, really? You don't say. So again, 11 a.m. Central Time, African Diaspora News Channel. I'll be there live for about 30 minutes, which is going to be like, again, new for me, the half an hour, because y'all know I'll be liking to talk. I like to talk to y'all, but I really have a short time schedule there. Reality says, Demetra, we got a chat about the real causes of homelessness in New York City. They've tricked the population here. Oh yeah, I already know. New York is one of the places where it's the most expensive to live. New York, California, obviously some other places, but New York and California for sure. It's almost impossible to live there unless you just got like a lot of money. So we will have that conversation. Enuma says those who led into captivity will go into captivity. Esau. Okay. Narma says my question is, who the hell still uses Twitter in 2025. Them people, I'm telling you, it's X actually, but I call it Twitter. His mama named him Twitter. I'm gonna call him Twitter type thing. But yeah, it's like the wild, wild west, east, north, south on X. Anything goes on there. I go on there for like to see stories and things like that, but them people crazy. And just lies, they just be lying on there. They should call it, Liar X, because they just be lying. It's like 90% of the people on there are just lying. And there's a lot of gullible people who just believe the lies. For Quan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? James, how you doing? Says narrow-minded people have very narrow opinions. Tis true. That is true. Jessica, yeah, freedom of speech ain't free. Yeah, people are learning that. My thing is this. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, think 5 times before you speak, right? But as I said, I heard a quote not too long ago, attention is a new currency. And whatever comes to people's minds, I'm going to go post about that. I'm going to post that. It's like, Just like you're supposed to think 5 times before you speak, think 5 times before you post. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But should I say that? What's going to happen if I say that? Am I going to get in trouble if I say that? Is it going to cost me something if I say that? Am I going to get my account suspended or whatever if I say that? And worse is, am I going to get it's the CIA. We got some questions for you, So just think, like, I know, especially in today's day and age, it's like, my fingers just itch. I just need to post. I just need to tweet. I just need to say it. I mean, we got people as like the social medias, their diaries. Dear diary, he is a F boy. And oh my God, it's like, shut up. Get in a real book, like a real diary, and close it up. We don't keep us out the group chat. Okay, we don't need to know all of that. So yeah. He says yes, the photo that he has on. He talking about when Donovan's backdrop. Yeah, that's literally a real. It came from a real photo of me. And his niece actually drew it years ago. I actually need to give me a new cover page and all kind of stuff. But yeah, it's actually a real photo of me. I think she drew that in maybe 2016, 17. Yeah, that's really me. I used to wear my hair. It was shorter back then. But yes. John to Emily, how you doing? Says Megyn is Trump supporter. Now she been that. Oh, that's the one too. Was that the one he said? I don't know what was going on with her because when she, I guess, one of those debates, I guess she was asking him some questions, and he says, I don't know what she had going on or something. She had like blood coming out of her eyes, and she was mad at him for a while. But yeah, you're right. I guess she's a Trump supporter now. Arias, he says, Megyn is ride or die Republican. Oh yeah, and then some. Norma says George Ford probably knocked out Kurt Cold on the floor the moment he arrived on the other side. Yeah, they do not like to even think about that at all. Again, I'm going to get into it a little bit tomorrow, as much as I can in the half an hour I'm going to have on the African Diaspora News Channel, 11 a.m. Central Time. Mike Brown, how you doing? Says reparations. Kelly, what's going on with you? Carrie, how are you? Michelle M, how you doing? Says it's their nature. It's their nature, rather. Jesus said they are of their father, and he was a liar from the beginning. Come on now. Z23, how you doing? Says this country will perish because of the original sin. Yes. And the Final Call newspaper, I put it on my Facebook page. They have an article out. I have not had a chance to read it because I'm like, I want to sit down where I can really dissect it and inculcate it. But yeah, they read it. I haven't read it yet, but the picture on the front of the Final Call is very ominous, right? But it's about things that have been spoken about before. Final Call newspaper. Check it out. Eric, how you doing? Says both Obama and Trump did exactly what the powers that be, come on now, told them to do when they put them in office, period. Yeah, that's why I said they got the keys in their back. They're not running nothing. Now, Trump, I don't even think really Trump is running anything. I really just think he's a puppet. Most of them are. But, a lot of people's like, oh, Trump is going there. He's draining the swamp. He's going to be I think Trump was like, yes, yes. I definitely think there's people that's, doing the work per se. Let's see. Ooh, I got to the bottom. Yes. So let's see. Marjorie says, I'm reading The Fall of America now. Yes, that is an awesome book. Let's see. Where is my Fall of America? Is this it? No, that ain't it. Here it is. I actually haven't read it's been a while. I just haven't felt like reading and I feel terrible. I'm going to get back into it, but yeah. Read this book. I believe you can get it on Amazon. You can get it at the Nation of IslamNOI.org. They have a store you can get it from. My dad actually gave me this book. But this is a good book. It's a great book. Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I think it was written in 1973 or something like that. And we're seeing a lot of this stuff come to fruition today. So it's a good book. But how do you like it so far? Let's see. There's a whole bunch of comments popped up. African Native says, my digital wallet frozen. What's it? What digital wallet? I don't even know if I have a digital wallet. So I don't know what that is. Buckhorse says, black women hurt our people, ribs, greens, cabbage, and mac and cheese, turkey necks. What? Okay, so you were talking about that photo reality. Okay. Yes. That was done years ago. Z23 says, shaking my head, has gotten to the point our people already rushing in. This don't say anything or else just scared. I'm not really sure how to take that comment. I'm just not saying anything because I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of listening about it. I don't think that Charlie is more important than us. I don't. So I don't think we should continue to talk about him. Now, like I said, I'm going to talk about things around him, but I'm not talking about him, because I'm scared per se. I'm not interested. Like, I'm one of those people that get burnt out of things really fast. It's got enough people talking about him. We need to talk about us, and the things that pertain to us, if that makes any sense. Now, there's some people scared because they got something to lose, right? They don't want to lose their jobs. Nobody wants to lose their jobs, but it's like, just be quiet. If you don't need to say it, just be quiet. You don't have to say everything that's on your mind. Just be quiet. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Study to be quiet. The Bible says that if you're saying more than yay or nay can lead you to sin, right? Which basically means you could get in trouble. Sometimes all it takes is a yes or no. But the problem is people, well, I just feel, I just want to say it. And then you get called into HR. Is this you? Did you make this post? Are you Nasty Kitty 23 on social media? Yes, I'm Nasty Kitty 23. Did you make that post? Well, yeah, I did, but this goes against company policy, right? Them folks found, because you put where you worked on your profile, okay? And so they reached out to us and we said, well, yeah, that's our employee. And it goes against, company policy. So we're going to have to let you go. Nasty Kitty 23. So just don't do it. I'm just saying. But what do I know? So John and Emily says Megyn was friends with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it sounds like they were all friends with him, right? Arias, and I know I said that wrong. Lovey says she's NOI. Who's NOI? Sunlight says, how can I get final call off the press? By the time I get it, it's not news. Yeah, unless you know somebody who's selling the papers, it's hard to get, but you can get it online, digitally, right? You could do that, and you could subscribe to it, and I guess they'll send you the new final call, but you can get it digitally. So go to NOI.org or finalcall.org or something like that, .com. I posted it on my Facebook page, so you can see it there. Dorsey says Marco Rubio means the red mark. What? Gerard, how you doing? Says, can't take anything Megyn says seriously. No, I don't even think she believed it. Molly Cake says, Trump is just another puppet. We'll never know who the puppet masters are. I'm afraid you're right. Absolutely. Yes, Zenobia, it's my pleasure. I love to share the books. And I need to start reading them, right? Michelle says, exactly, Demetri, we have more important things to focus on. Yeah, like we're not going to keep on talking about this man, whatever it is, we got to be talking about us, okay? He wasn't more important in our realm. Okay, to them, he was, the second coming of Jesus or whatever. He's not that to us. We got other things we need to be talking about, right? Erica, how you doing? Says, let's talk about us. It's about us. So anyway, I think I said hello to everybody. Sherry, how you doing? Says, I can't get less than a damn. I could give less than a damn. I think that's what you're saying about him. He did not like us. Every morning he woke up with Black Americans on his mind. Some of us didn't even know who he was. That's true. I talked to a lot of people like, I didn't even know who he was. Man, I was on TikTok last night and I saw a church full of Black people singing praises to him. I was like, surely this is why doves cry. Because what are y'all doing? Anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Check me out tomorrow on the African Diaspora News Channel at 11 a.m. Central Time. I'm only going to be there half an hour. I know that's going to be hard for me to do because I talk a lot. But you guys stay tuned. I think we'll have a good time over there. And I am going to talk to y'all like I'm talking to y'all now. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please join me there. And then I'm supposed to be sitting down with Tamara Shealy Johnson. She's going about the country for reparations tomorrow on the podcast. Donovan won't be here because Donovan in them streets of the DR, okay? He'll probably be here, I don't know, one day throughout the week, but he's on vacation, okay? And then I'm going to come back on the Demetri K Show 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then so on and so forth. And then Wednesday, I'll be over there, but I don't want to confuse y'all. I'll tell y'all every day where I'm going to be. In the meantime, I love and appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow, 11 a.m. African Diaspora News Channel. Peace. Walter's around, African Native. I just got to tie him down. I'm working on Walter. He'll be back when he's done, and I've, kind of molded him a little bit, and he'll be back. He ain't gone nowhere, but he'll be back. Peace.